Hi, my name is Mitra Manesh. I'm a servant. I serve through teaching, coaching, consulting, or any other way that I can find to share what I know with those who want to know. And this Lights On podcast is one of those ways. It was created with consciousness and mindful living in heart. So join us as we travel through many roads of learning and transformation together. And if you enjoy our podcast, please give us feedback by rating us 5-star and share us with others if you think they may benefit from it. On behalf of my team, I thank you for your presence. This episode is about being positive and having positive attitude in leadership at work. I get into a concept, which is a fascinating concept called magic ratio. Apparently, there is a ratio of how a healthy relationship, be it at home or at work, can really thrive and get to a healthy place. So it's called magic ratio. Let's take a listen and see if my knowing can serve you. Positive attitude is a little bit misunderstood. People think positive attitude means that you just ignore the truth and facts of life and just put a happy face on it. Positive attitude basically means you bring a balance of seeing the problem and seeing the solution. So our natural disposition with our logical, rational mind is to see and focus on the problem, which is a great thing for survival because rational mind and our thinking mind is there to save us and make sure that we're safe. But when it gets overactivated, it starts making comments about everything. And that's where we as awakened people have a role to say. It's almost like a person who's over speaking and somebody intervenes and says, thank you so much. And now it's time to go to somebody else. That's what we do when we have a command of our mind and allow a balance of what is right or what is the solution and what is the problem. The problem with staying with our so-called negative aspect of mind and attitude is that we only see the problem. We get stuck on the problem and we never move on to go to seeing the solutions or seeing what is right. So here, positive attitude means you being in charge of seeing both the problem and the solutions, seeing what's missing and also what are your assets as a team, as a person, as an organization. I talk about the magic ratio. Magic ratio is something that has been researched intensely by, I think it's John Gottman, in the relationship, in marriages, and how the ratio is 1-5, meaning when 1% of the talks and interactions are about the problems and 5% and 5 times more is about solutions and celebrations and laughter and positivity. They did the research and they said that those are the they called it marriages. Those are the relationships that actually survive. And they did a research 10 years later. They went back to the couples that they were researching, and the accuracy rate was something like 4% or something like that. So they brought this magic ratio to the workplace, and they studied it in the context of workplace. And the number was different. It was 3-1, meaning when you speak about, focus on, talk about, work on the problems 3 times, 1 time, and then 3 times that you talk about solutions and celebration of what's right and what's working. So basically keeping somehow that ratio in the workplace in mind or in heart, in my view, and allowing that there will be also talk and solution oriented kind of conversation happening. I remember one of my clients that I used to work on a weekly basis. I used to go to their meetings, and one thing that I changed in their staff meetings, weekly staff meetings, was to allow people to talk about what went wrong for them that week, what didn't work, and then what did work, and also what was the lessons they learned. So basically, we allowed people to talk about things going wrong in a very natural way, and they got it out of their system, and they also shared their lessons with other people. But when we don't allow that to take place, of course, that negative thing is like circulating in my mind, and I can't get it out of my mind. And I feel like I'm keeping a secret. I'm going to pretend I did a good job when I didn't. And I never get to the lesson learning and lesson sharing. And that, believe it or not, allows positivity to be part of the culture, because you're turning, as Buddhists call it, you're turning poison into medicine. Even if I did something wrong and I learned from it, now I'm talking in a positive way about it and sharing with everybody. And there's almost a sense of confession. I'm getting it out of my system. Hope this episode answered the question or two for you, or provoked and inspired questions in you. I'm so grateful you showed up and listened up. Until the next time, be well and stay curious.